Hello, my name is Christopher Sweetavina. This is my week 3 assignment 1 project for FTT 221. Today's date is November 1st, and today we're going to be doing scope lapping. For those of you that are watching this and don't know, because this is getting uploaded to YouTube, scope lapping is when you take some scope rings and you put these lapping measurement tools, you'll see them a little bit better here in a second, inside the ring, and it shows you how aligned these two scope rings are. This one here is a little bit worse of an example because it's machined, so it's probably going to be better than a 2-piece scope ring. But for something like so, these might be slightly misaligned, like something kind of just like that, where it's like, oh, it looks straight, yada yada yada. But the process of lapping is taking an even bigger one of those things, putting a grit compound on here or on your scope rings, and then you're just going to basically sand it down, get rid of any high points, and just have the scope be aligned perfectly, which is good for precision shooting, hunting, and expensive scopes because you avoid scratching them like that. I mean that they're rubs off, not a deep scratch, then it damaged the scope too much. This is also a 22 scope, 22 long rifle that I've been shooting on a 308 and a 5.56. So I've been abusing this scope. All right, before we get into any mounting or anything else, first things first, I have to show you guys this firearm is safe, because when working with a firearm, the very first thing you do is always make sure it is not loaded. There's no ammo in this work area, so I'm going to stick my finger in that chamber. I know nothing is ejected out of there. I'm going to clear it. Alright. So, I'm going to be honest, this is like my second or third take on this video. I think it's the third. I think the second take I just messed up the intro. But, with all that being said, I ran into a lot of hiccups. As you can see, these scope rings are mounted really far up in a really dumb looking position. That is because having them where they should be, this one back here and this one up a little bit closer, the scope that the school sent, it's glass piece up here, too big. That hits my iron sights right there. So all I'm doing is I'm mounting this scope, and I'm going to do the lapping on these rings. I might keep it because it's a really tight fit. Oh, let's push that up a little bit. It's a really tight fit. I got him. It's a stretch. I mean, these scope rings are easy to take off. I can just spin them to get them off. But I like having backup iron sights. Because I had a scope on this rifle. I have a scope on all the rifles I have, and I don't want to touch them. So I was like, yeah, I'll do the AR because this thing pops off easy. Maybe I'll get a better scope on my AR. Yeah, nope. And I tried using this mount. Ring's way too small. I don't know how I didn't realize that. So, yeah, I'm just going to be mounting this and lapping these rings here. I don't know if it's going to be staying on this rifle or not. It looked kind of goofy. It looked dumb. That don't look good. So they're probably not going to stay on. I'll probably be taking them off. I don't know what I'm going to put this on. This is only a 6x. The only other rifle I have that needs a scope is a 30-06, and I'm not putting a 6x scope on my 30-06. It's wasted potential. I just need this to not be where it's just not touching, so that's good. Alright, now we're going to take our little measurement tools here. I'm going to wipe them down real fast with my shirt. Just get any of that dust off up front, just because it bothers me. And now we are going to just place that in the scope ring like so. And then we're going to just grab a screwdriver and just get a quick little thread going. Also, I said in the first video, Of course, it didn't go through. Sorry in advance for any sniffling, snorting, sneezing. I live next to an almond field, and they are harvesting, so there's dust everywhere, and I already have bad allergies as is. Alright, so now we pull this guy out. Same thing. We're going to wipe off that tip, just because I got some lint there and some dust from it sitting for a while. Now we're going to put that right there. And in all honesty, I don't know if lapping needs to be done for these rings. I put those on backwards. I'm still going to do the lapping here, just because that's the assignment, and I have to, regardless of if I want to or not. Alright, so we got these in. And those are touching tip to tip perfectly. I'm going to go ahead and just start threading these in. Watching both sides, making sure I keep them equal. Those two about even, not torqued in yet, but about even nonetheless. This side's way smaller. Alright, so yeah, those are touching like spot on, right on the tip to tip. So I don't need to do any adjustments with the bottom of the rings. Normally that's, you'll sew. Can I zoom in? Oh no. Let me. Oh. Okay, I guess that's as close as that's getting. Oh, hello. There we go. Now you can see they are spot on touching tip to tip. So all I'm going to be doing is just lapping the insides of these. Not necessarily for accuracy's sake. So one of the things I saw, let me just do a nice little wall sit right here. One of the things I read when I was researching lapping is scope lapping isn't necessary. Now, I heard some people say it's not necessary for ARs because they have a machine pick rail where it will always be level. Which, I mean, I guess that's fair. But then it has to be a high quality upper or handguard, which this here is a Stoner AR platform upper. So I know it's name brand quality. I know it's good. Nice machining, and it's proved to be level. So a lot of the time you're going to be doing lapping on rifles that have a pick mount like this, 1022, the Tika T3Xs, the Ruger Precision. No, the Ruger Precisions have the machine pick rail. But those hunting type rifles, those you can, because you're putting on that pick rail and you can put it on crooked, you can tighten one screw down too much, etc., etc. So that's where you might come up with an issue. Another thing is having two scope rings like so. I read that there's when you're most likely going to have to scope lap. You're not going to have to do it as often. Nope. I'm gonna have to do it as often with a high quality one-piece scope ring. I said I was gonna test this, but these don't fit, so I can't. But I was very interested to see how that would turn out, and so far having a pick rail, like a machine pick rail on an AR, will give you a fairly aligned piece. Okay, so now for the actual lapping itself. I'm going to pause this video, clean up this corner mess from the other scope and mount, which now I'm going to have to remount. Ugh. But yeah, I'm going to just clean up this mess a little bit, and then next thing you guys will see, this will be in there. Alright, I'm back, and when I just felt like it'd be important to say, I took the scope rings off, and now that I'm taking them off, I'm going to focus on keeping them the same direction, same place, every single time. So I'm going to take them off, keep them in the same direction, just set them straight down, right there in my little vise. Oh, it holds it. Another reason I'm doing this on the AR that I thought of, I don't have any way to hold another rifle. I have this mag lock for this AR, but I don't have a rifle stand, which is something I should probably get. So now that we're done doing an alignment test, we're going to take these out, set those off to the side right there. Now we're going to pull out this big old guy, which is rusty, which I feel like shouldn't be rusty. I'm going to just show this. I just pulled this out the bag right now. I haven't messed with this stuff all week. But I got rust on mine. I don't know if that's going to affect it. I'm still going to run it because I need to get this assignment done. I don't want to take sandpaper to it because this has to be a certain size. Alright, we're taking my shirt to it. Yeah, that's rust alright. How? I've been in a room for the last month. Well, that's a problem. Alright, well, where's the rust? Right there, that's where I don't want to run. And I can't do that, I have to. Lovely. Alright, well, hopefully that rust right there doesn't mess too much up. I don't know what that's for. I know this handle, goes right in here. We're going to screw this in. And now we're going to come over here, get some of this 220 grit compound, 220 Wheeler lapping compound. Alright, now we're just going to, in the videos it looked a lot more, compoundy, I guess. Liquidy, I don't know what you'd call it. I wasn't expecting it to be the same consistency as trout bait, like the smelly garlic trout baits, you know. It's got like that clay-like consistency. From what I saw in the videos, it kind of just looked a little bit more like liquid. So yeah, we're going to put the compound on the inside of the rings, like so. And then up here on the top part of the ring as well. Just get some of that in there. Put that back down how I grabbed it. Same thing with this one. Grab some compound, rub it all in. Wipe off any excess. That's what shirts are for. I don't care what my mom said. That's what shirts are for. Unless it's acidic or flammable, then I'd have to disagree. Okay, now we're going to mount it exactly like how we would if we were to mount a scope. Carefully, and keep it even. You want it exactly like that. You want it all even, nice, consistent, however you want to talk about it, I don't care. Just get the main thread in. Same thing with this one, just get it threaded in, get that started. Pull that out because my screwdriver will be magnetic. Oh, if it's not threaded in, at least one thread, it'll yoink itself out. Beautiful. So this is much like putting the head on a car, is how I view putting scope rings on. You want it all to be as even as possible. So if that side's down more, tighten that side. This side go down, tighten this side. And this one so far is starting to look really good. That in a little bit, push that down. My shoulders are starting to get tired. I have my elbows up like this. So see, I tightened this side closer to me a little bit too much, and it raised the gap on that side to be way greater than this side. So if you just go backtrack a little bit, you can get them fairly even. Like right there, I just loosened about half a turn. Just to jump over, give this one about a quarter of a turn, and then now go back and forth and just really take my time. Just giving them the same amount of torque every time. So I'm gonna back off of that. Back off of all of these just a wee bit. I think it was this back one I did a little bit too much. There we go. Okay, so we got even sides all around. So now I have the lapping compound inside of those rings, and this is now locked in here. So with this lever, you're just gonna work it back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and eventually you'll start working your way down and up, down and up, down, back and forth, down and up. And you're just gonna keep doing that repeatedly. Every once in a while, you're gonna want to check your scope rings, see how far they are as far as the lapping goes. But right now, before I continue anymore, I'm going to throw some more lapping material on this piece, just because it lightened itself. Oh, that's a little bit much in the wrong place. But I'm gonna just add a little bit of lapping material to the edges. So now that I'm going back and forth, it's not just dragging the lapping material that I had on the rings, it's actually using some that's already on the bar and moving that so it'll stay gritty, I guess. Oh, part of me wants to edit a meme into there. Now we're gonna same thing, back, forth, back, forth. Nice motions. Trying to stay out of the rusty area, and I just covered it. Maybe I can use that lapping compound that's on it to get rid of the rusty area. It got rid of it. I'm just really gonna have to make sure to clean that. So now that there's been, I'm gonna tighten it down just a little bit more, because before I couldn't move it. I'm just gonna do probably a quarter turn each one, just to see if that puts me There we go. And that's probably about all I'm going to do as far as tightening those anymore, because this is also... This ain't as easy as... Well, I'm probably making it look a lot harder. Alright, after that one, let it spin about 5 minutes. Wipe my hands on my shirt again. Haha, Mom. I laugh at you. And now we're going to take these rings off. And again, like I said earlier, you're going to keep the ring. So this is now the back ring forever. That will forever and always have to be the back ring. The screws I'm placing over to the side on magnets so I don't lose them. I'm keeping the screws in their same spots too. I don't think the screws matter nearly as much as the rings do. And keeping in the right place. But oh well. So be it. Alright. Moment of truth. Actually, I'm going to go pause this and go grab some paper towels and Q-tips. Alright, I have returned and I got paper towels and Q-tips to clean all this up. So, this here went on like so. I'm going to just show you in here. That's kind of what it looks like now. You can see some of the scratches and scrapes. I'm going to wipe this down so you can see it way better. And it's looking good. I say maybe 1 or 2 more lapping passes and it'll probably be finished. I'm not going to record the second one, but that's what it looks like now. You see how you can see all the bare metal right there? There's still some bluing up on those edges and on the sides. You want about 70 to 80% of this here to be metal. So, I mean, I'd say it's probably pretty good where it's at. I'm going to finish cleaning it out. Same thing with this ring. Let's check this out. Yeah, it's looking fairly good. This one's actually looking a little bit better than that one was. It goes a little bit higher up on the sides. So you can see all that's raw. It feels nice and smooth. I'm just going to set that down. Yeah, we're definitely going to be doing one more pass. I'm just going to set this down as well. No paper towel there. One from here. So remember, the point of lapping is to be getting the high points out of the scope. Where these bottom rings, they look more complete than those top rings did. Or this one does at least. Where it looks already that 70 to 80%. So that lets me know that that high spot was on the bottom. If there was any. Because this here was lined up pretty good. So now this should just be extremely lined up. This front one needs a little bit more work, that's for sure. I also need to clean inside these threads before I go a second round, before they get overly dirty. Okay, just break a Q-tip, why not? And that is why you clean inside the threads. Alright, so as far as more compound goes, I'm going to just wipe off what I got here on the sides and all of that and whatnot. Just wipe all of that. Put that back in there. We have the compound. Throw in just a tiny bit more. Not need much. Just a tiny bit more. Just get her going. So one more pass. So I'm going to finish this pass with the lapping kit, and then I'll show you guys the full and final finished product. Alright, I'm done with that second pass through. We're going to check this out real quick, and then I should just be able to mount the scope, which would be nice because this has quickly turned into a lot longer of a video than I would have liked it to, and it's going to take a lot longer to post on YouTube now. Oh well. Now, we're just going to, actually, let's wipe these down now. Ah, that's a wall. Oh yes, gunk. Love it. I love all the gunk. Oh yeah, that looks nice. You really did it now. There we go. So now there's probably about 90% raw metal opposed to 80, which is my bad. I knew I should have stopped earlier, but just can't stop. Oh, there goes that. Oh. Oh, actually, now that I wipe more off, probably about a solid 80. All up here is, oh, you can see that hard blue line right there, but then that side there is all metal, so feels nice. Oh. That was most definitely faced like so. Don't touch it. No more touchy. Just wipe off all this sick goop on the sides here. So far, just so I don't have to come up with the conclusion at the end of this and make this video even longer, would I recommend lapping? Then again, I haven't shot with this scope yet to be like, oh, it makes such a big difference. But I've gone without lapping for the last 3 years, especially on this rifle, the last like 2, with that scope setup I had. And I mean, for it being a quick amount, like a quick attach, quick detach, whatever you want to call it, quick release, whatever, it was accurate. I was hitting, I don't have the target up there, but I was hitting probably 1-inch groupings accurately at 25 yards with these. I know 25 yards isn't anything. I only have an indoor range, but that's all I'm shooting. So no, none of this is worth it for me because I've only shot indoors. I don't go hunting. I would love to go hunting. I just don't know how. I don't know anyone who goes hunting, so it's a little bit more of an alien process to me. I'm gonna wipe this down just so I can set it down because this is about to be put away. Oh yeah, that definitely took some of the color off on this thing too. I wonder if I can re-blue that. Yeah. Alright. Now just to clean the insides of these. Yuck. I might need more paper towels. Nice. So, least favorite part of this process so far, I thought it would be the scope mounting just because it's tedious. You had to go back and forth. It's exactly like putting the valve cover or the head on a car where it's just, oh, I gotta jump around so I don't break anything. It's that type of tedious. I thought that would be it. No, it's wiping this off. Wiping this compound grit off. Biggest nightmare ever. I mean, as you can tell, I've been doing it for the last 5 minutes. And I don't know if it's even fully off. So these bottom rings weigh more than 80-90%. Those are basically 100% bare metal compared to the top rings. So those bottoms were really high spots on the scope. I guess this side here, it's got a little bit right there. But for the most part, they're uniform. Get some Q-tips, clean up in there again. And now it's time to mount the scope. Or, well, first clean out some holes, which aren't too dirty. That was kind of wrong. I thought they'd be a little bit dirtier. I feel like these ones, though. Not like I thought it'd be, but still dirty nonetheless. Grab rid of my Q-tip for that. Oh, that one just popped right through. No dirt. Same thing. No dirt. Alright. Beautiful. Alright. Let's get started on mounting the scope. I do not have a level, so the way I mount scopes, because you're never actually level, is I pop these up and I So the way I mount scopes, because I don't have a level, and they're my scopes, so I can do it how I want. I understand if I was to be doing someone else's scope or a customer scope or even a buddy of mine, I'd probably be like, yo, can you pick me up a level? But because this is my scope, I'll mount it how I normally mount it, and it's made accurate scopes. My thought process is, how often when you're actually sitting there shooting and holding that rifle, is that scope actually level? Or you're holding that gun perfectly at a 90-degree angle to keep that scope level? You're not. You never do. There's a slight angle. You see that right here. Hand up. There's that slight angle in my hand. I'm not full forward like this. There's a slight angle in my hand just because it's what's comfortable, so I know when it's in my shoulder, that scope's going to be angled. So the way I aim my scope, or mount my scope, is because you mount it how you see. So I'll show you how I mount this, because I don't have a level to do this. I might get knocked a point. I'm sorry, but I'm not going to Home Depot till after I finish my project, is what I told myself. Oh, honestly, how far could I bring this back? See, I feel like that there is level. I'm gonna test out this scope. We're gonna see if I like it on the AR, because I think its placement and all that, it just looks a little goofy. Okay, so now the way I mount, now that it's mounted, I hold it up to my head, or up to my face, oopsie, and wait a minute. I just messed up big time. I don't know if you guys noticed it or not. I put the scope on sideways. which is fine because I'm still in this mounting process where the screwdriver's out. It's not like it's sideways at the gun range. The thing that threw me off was, so let me show you. This is going to be like a 30-minute long video. I'm sorry, guys. The thing that threw me off was these flaps here. I just put them up, but you see that needs to be like so. So, oh, ooh, just scratch the ever-living crap out of my scope. That's nice. Yeah, I scratched the crap out of this thing right now. Oh, that's fancy. Okay, so with that like so, now I can go ahead and get it sighted how I want. So with the scope, with the rifle up to my shoulder, I just get it level as need be. And that there, it's good, like so. It is slightly at an angle, which I told you, that's how I shoot. And I feel as if I didn't get all of the compound out, because as I turned that scope, how I said I scratched it, I think that was from the compound. So, now we're just going to tighten these down all the way, all even and such. And that is a lapped and mounted scope on my AR. I guess it doesn't look as dumb as, I mean, it looks about the same as the other one did, but it's alright. It's mediocre. It's a mediocre scope. Yeah, I don't like it. The reason I'm saying that is it's just too far up. I'm not getting a good visual on it. So, you win some, you lose some. At least the scope mounts, they come off. They just spin off and it'll come off in one piece. But that is it for my scope or my ring lapping project. Took a lot longer than I thought it would. Would I recommend it? If you're precision shooting or hunting, maybe. If you have a really expensive scope that you don't want to scratch, make sure you clean them after you lap them. But yeah, other than that, it wasn't too bad. It took the actual process, if I wasn't focusing on recording and doing all of this, probably would have took me about 20-30 minutes. So not too bad. But that being said, I gotta go put all these videos together and oh, that's bright. Yeah. That is it for this video and this project. Thank you all for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe. I'd appreciate that. There'll be gun content, car content, bike content. I'm thinking about separating the guns and the cars and the bikes. Comment what you think about that down below.